Well, just last week, 130,000 cars were recalled because of potential stalling. 70,000 more were recalled because of the potential for overheating. 48,000 were recalled for possible seatbelt defects. The list from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration goes on. So, what can you do if you think you've been injured because of an unsafe vehicle? Here with advice are our good friends from Swartz Culleton, Chris Culleton, and Brandon Swartz. Gentlemen, good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Brandon, talk about the types of claims a person might have, and give us some examples.
Well, a lot of the recalls that you just talked about, most of them, even if the recall were to happen, somebody wouldn't get injured. But other times, if something were to happen that required the recall, it could involve the serious injury. For instance, you talked about the fact that there was a seatbelt recall. Recently, there was a very large lawsuit, a products liability lawsuit, where the attorneys were questioning the crashworthiness of the vehicle because the seatbelt did not prevent the person's head from hitting the top of the vehicle in an accident. This person ended up in paralysis, so it could be a very serious situation.
Expand on that term, crashworthiness.
All right, so crashworthiness involves a situation where there's certain anticipated events that might happen in a motor vehicle accident. The car itself, if it's an ordinary accident, should be able to withstand that without the person having serious injury. But if it can't, it could be a violation of what's otherwise required under the law, and the person could have a claim for a crashworthiness against the manufacturer of the vehicle, or lack of crashworthiness.
Chris, talk about the areas of focus on these claims.
Well, crashworthiness cases involving cars are only actually a small part of the total number of cases out there. We've also handled crashworthiness cases involving golf carts, ATVs, mopeds designed for children, and other types of vehicles.
Unreal, really?
Yeah.
Now, so what should someone do if they've been injured as a result of a defective vehicle of any sort? You mentioned a few, but what should someone do?
Well, the first thing that's most important is they got to get themselves medical care. But separately, if in fact they've been injured, they may in fact want to bring a claim against the manufacturer. So if in fact they want to bring a claim against the manufacturer, it's imperative that they preserve the vehicle to prevent something called an argument called spoliation that exists under the law.
Preserve the vehicle. How detailed is that? Can you talk about that?
Well, the vehicle is the evidence, and it has to be preserved. Because the first thing we would do is we would have experts go out there, engineers who would examine the vehicle and look to see if it had all the safety features incorporated into the vehicle that needed to be there. And they'd also look at the warnings and the instructions, the manuals, to see if the information was given to the end user so that they could use the vehicle in a safe way.
And if it hadn't been?
Then there's a lawsuit.
Bingo. That's where you guys come in. And they have a hotline running right now for people who have questions. You want to give us a hotline again?
The number is 1-800-JUSTICE. It's a toll-free call.
I've heard that before so many times. I love you guys. Thank you. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
We appreciate you. Once again, 1-800-JUSTICE. For more on Swartz Culleton, go to cbsphilly.com and click on Talk Philly. Kate's got your forecast. Here she is.